y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. I want to bring you this story that came out a couple of hours ago. It is December the 20th, 2023, and it is on Microsoft Start. The story was originally on NBC News, and it says Donald Trump kicked off Colorado primary ballot. And, the only reason I want to talk about it because it is a part of the divide and conquer plot in order to get us to this civil war, another coup d'etat, so on and so forth. So this is why I'm speaking on it. Um, I tell my people, don't get involved in politics anyway. First of all, Babylon ain't gonna do nothing for you. Babylon is for Babylon. And Babylon is basically a modern slave state. So you can't do anything that you think is going to free you. It's never going to free you. They let you go vote, but they keep you in bondage with work. They keep you in bondage with money. They keep you in bondage with debt. They keep you in bondage with their jobs because we're not even supposed to be working for them like that. Like the fact that you can go someplace and work for somebody for 30 years and get a pension. If you read, how things were in the Bible, we were only supposed to work for somebody 7 years and then our debts are paid. We're supposed to go someplace else and work or go work for ourselves. We're not supposed to be constantly working for other people and not having build our own wealth. And unfortunately, this society has taught us that working for somebody else is better and safer than what the Most High would have for us, which is to do for ourselves, be self sufficient, make our own way. And that way we don't necessarily have debt. And you also have wealth, whether that wealth is animals, land, natural resources, whatever, or currency that you were able to earn from your talent, skills, abilities, um, and that you're able to pass down from one generation to the next. We're not meant to live the way that we're living, and so they know that because the powers that be set up this society to do everything the opposite of what the Most High would have us do. So they understand what's happening, but they got to give us these little nuggets to make us believe that slavery is okay. And so voting is one of those things. And for Black people, African American Black people, we understand we ain't never really had no rights. We ain't never really had no let up of oppression. And voting has never changed anything for us. They were always just symbols and tokenism. But white people are getting the Black Negro lesson on politics. And so they're learning that their votes really don't count. They've ruled and had power um, to oppress, subjugate, dominate, and even exterminate through politics, governance, laws, and institutions. And now things are changing, so they're getting what we get. They're getting to see how the system doesn't work for them now because they're the new slaves. Judgment is coming, and they're getting ready to go into their captivity, and they just cannot grasp it. They can't let go of the idea that they're not going to be able to vote their way out of anything that's happening because this is judgment for their sins and the sins of their ancestors, just like us, true Israel. We are here because of the sins of our ancestors, our forefathers. And so now that our captivity is ending, theirs is beginning. And so the powers that be understand their days are numbered, and so they are trying to rule the best they can and using all their little powers and tools and trickery to bring down this country, enslave the people that are supposed to go into captivity. so that they can rule for these final few years before our king comes back to deliver us from this wicked hellhole. And we go back to our kingdom and rule, because we are supposed to rule. Um, but all of us ain't going to make it. And this is part of that shaking out phase. So the wise um, and the faithful and those who can see and act in an appropriate time frame are going to make it out. This whole Donald Trump thing is just a ploy. It's Hegelian dialectic. And, it's two different wings on the same wicked bird. And, you're watching the system gradually crumble and not work because they've already got the new world government set up. It's ready to go. But they got to destroy this thing, what they call democracy, and how the West is run. Because those two governments, the one world rule, one world government, and the democracy cannot go together. All these things came out of Rome. So Rome is just recalling what it has put out because it's got its new thing, its last final government ready to, go live. So the fact that this man can be kicked off the primary ballot is pretty interesting to me. Um, I just, all I see is all hell getting ready to break loose next year. That y'all know how crazy these folks are about this man. Y'all know what types of crowds he draws. Um, and I don't think it's an accident that these things are happening now. It's just a prelude, a taste of what's coming next year. So if you have not checked out of politics, honey, you better check out of it. You better be trying to have your go bad pack and be ready to get out of here. And we better be trying to live as holy as possible, stay in our word, because things are going to get rocky. And you already see it happening. It's just like soon as this movie came out, all these different things started happening. And I feel like these things are happening now as a prelude to this movie that's coming out in 2024, Civil War. They know what they want to happen and they're planting seeds. This is predictive programming. So just stay on top of what is going on. Don't get caught up in the fray. Don't think one person is better than the other one. All both of them work for Rome. Everybody goes to Rome and kiss the Pope's hand. Everybody lets the Pope come to the White House. Rome is running the earth. Rome is running all the leaders. And you can see the final rapid movements of the decline or fall of this empire. And I don't think we have long before the uh, economy crashes. You see, the stock market is up and everything is fine, but stores ain't selling nothing. People ain't buying much. Everybody's complaining about how high things are. And home insurance is going up, car insurance is going up because they got to make everything unaffordable so that you can transition to this green energy crap that they got for us to go into. So the big picture is everything is still going as planned. The earth is falling apart. Sky's falling. America is falling. And there's not much you're going to be able to do about it except for watch and pray. Just come out of her. Make peace with it. Make peace that you may lose some things. Make peace that you may have a lot of changes, discomfort. You may lose people. You may lose friends. You may lose family members. You're going to lose money unless you don't have none. You don't have nothing to lose. But they're just understand. Even your way of life, the things that you knew and you held on to as truth, even those things, you're going to lose those things because those things are lies. And so as we continue to explore what's happening and learn the truth together. Um, just be at peace with, not having nothing. That's my philosophy. It's just, I don't know nothing. I don't have nothing. What I thought was mine is not mine. This country doesn't allow you to have anything. And as you're going to see, they're going to take stuff away from you quickly. Rights, opportunities, property, money, air, water, food, just the basics, shelter, education, truth, speech, free speech, liberty. It's all an illusion, and we're going to find that out very quickly. So um, I'm not going to belabor this. I'm just going to go into this story just to show you how ridiculous this is. So it says, what's next after the bombshell ruling to kick Donald Trump off the Colorado's primary ballot? Oh, the other reason that they're doing this too is because, well, let me read this and I'll talk about that at the end. So it says Chuck Todd shares his ideas for next year political and what to know about the Social Security cost of living adjustments for 2024. Nobody cares about that. Okay. So the Supreme Court thrust into a once in a lifetime confluence of Trump's legal woes. So it says the Colorado Supreme Court's bombshell ruling yesterday to leave former President Donald Trump off the state's primary ballot next year marks the first time a little known provision in the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution was successful. First time at the fall of an empire, somebody decides to pull this and it's successful. So everything is happening the way that is planned. It didn't take long for Trump's campaign to signal that they'd be appealing the decision to the U.S. Supreme Court. If and when that appeal comes, the court will have to decide whether Trump is eligible to run for president again. That's on top of a looming decision on whether Trump has presidential immunity for alleged criminal acts he committed while in office related to the federal election interference case against him. The two cases are a once in a generation, perhaps once in a lifetime confluence of events where the court confronts a series of very basic and very important issues relevant to self government, the biggest since the Watergate era, said John Elwood, a Washington lawyer who has argued in front of the Supreme Court. The court now must make decisions quickly. And so this is why you have to pay attention to all court decisions. You got to pay attention to laws. And again, it's not like you're going to be able to change anything or do anything, but it is going to help you see where we are in the big scheme of things in the fall of this country. And I believe between now and April, right before the resurrection season is upon us, a lot of things are going to happen. A lot of things in the natural, in the heavenlies, and spiritually are going to be happening on this earth. We're going to see it, we're going to feel it, and it's just going to be overwhelming. But understand all this is biblical prophecy, and all of this is nothing more than a data point to show you just how close we are to an exodus or to judgment. And Babylon is going to be judged. And also the wickedness that has been planned for mankind, because these people have a deletion plan, and that plan is in full swing right now. So it says, with little time for the Supreme Court to do anything substantive before then, it remains reasonably likely that Trump will be on the ballot for the state's March 5th primary while litigation continues. On the presidential immunity question, the court's response to special counsel Jack Smith's request to circumvent the normal appeals process is due today. A third Supreme Court case is also lurking in the background that could affect Trump's Washington prosecution. Politics reporter Lawrence Hurley explains. So I'm not even going to what Chuck Todd said because Chuck Todd is op. But anyway, this is key because one, it is going to get these crazy stirred up, just racist. And I'm not gonna say everybody is a racist. Some people are really caught up into this political thing, and they think this man is for them and for this country. They don't understand that his hands are tied to, and that he is a billionaire and politically connected, which means and friends with a lot of these presidents. So he's been in a bunch of these meetings. He's some of these powerful people, um, appointed to do whatever their job is for this particular time. But because people are so simple minded and they just have been conditioned by Hollywood to have a hero and they need a hero, they always got to have a leader, especially the children of corn. Again, this is why we in trouble because we're always following them. They always got to have a leader. They got to have a king. We have our own leader. We got our own king. We ain't supposed to be worshiping or doing nothing that they do. But, you still have these people caught up with red and blue, Democrat, Republican, good, evil, racist, not racist, without really understanding everybody's oppressing African American Black people. The racism and the white supremacy just looks different and it sounds different based on the party. Conservatives are very much like slaveholders, while the Democrats are city slicker, racists. They know how to put racism in policy and white supremacy in policy and smile in your face. They'll come to your church and eat chicken, sing hymns, do the Southern drawl, and then go right back to Washington and write a bill to disenfranchise you or oppose reparations. So what is happening is they're setting up for the Civil War. This is going to be the catalyst for it. This has happened. I wouldn't be surprised if you see other states follow suit, and I would not be surprised if you begin to see or feel the rise in those angry white people who are already poor and upset because they're poor and they're mad at the government, but they can't fight the government. So they're going to take their anger out on Black people. They're going to do it online. They're going to do it in person. They're going to do anything they can do to us because they like punching down. So African American Black people, y'all need to be on your P's and Q's. You need to have your head on a swivel. You need to keep you something on you at all times to protect yourself. Um, and you need to also come out of this system and see it for what it is. See these times for what they are. They really are about dividing us so that they can conquer us. This is the fall of an empire. You're watching it happen from the inside out. And there are all sorts of people participating in it. Your state and local officials, your cities, your counties, your national politicians, your congressional representatives. Everybody's in on it. The police, everybody is in on it. Some people know, some people don't really know how they are, playing a role in all of this. But what I will say is that you can see it clearly if you are watching. If you're not watching, you just, it's Christmas time. You're worrying about going and buying presents and what you're going to cook for Christmas dinner. Um, you're not thinking about this is probably the last Christmas you're going to experience if you're celebrating that pagan ritual. Be mindful that we are in the midst of a different type of war. This is that fifth generation warfare I was telling y'all about earlier this year. So we just got to keep our heads on a swivel. Got to be open minded. You got to see. You got to understand. We are just students now of life all over again. We don't know anything. We're learning as we go. People, we're learning from different people. We're seeing different things. But knowing is half the battle. Having knowledge and wisdom, being armed with that, will greatly increase your chances of making it out of whatever is coming. I can't promise nobody we're gonna make it. I don't even. Oh my gosh! Did y'all hear that? I have no idea what that was, but I have to go and see. So I'm going to end this video. I don't know what that was. I live in the country, so I don't know what that noise was, but it shook the entire house. It sounded like a bomb going off. It's crazy. All right, this is Marla K. I gotta go. I'm out.